Folks, let me tell you what I feel needs to happen for condo prices to really drop, and then I'll get into the latest home prices and insights for condos across the GTA for week ending November 6, 2024. All sorts of theories and reasons why condo prices are not necessarily falling. They have dropped, they have come down, but you know, there's all sorts of different ways of looking at it. Let me explain the way I'm looking at it. When we study condo prices week in and week out, there seems to be a common denominator on the floor pricing. The least expensive condos week in and week out are around the 400,000 mark. Now, plus minus a little bit, not much, but let's just go with 400 is every single week, the floor for a long time now. And when you look at these condos, they're almost every time 0 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. So they're a bachelor studio, you would call it. So there's no separate bedroom. It's just 1 big room and a bathroom and a kitchen. And when I say 1 big room, I say that loosely because many times it's not actually a big room. It's 1 room that has a bed, hopefully a table, and a kitchen. The only separate room there is the bathroom. So it's a bachelor. I'm, harping on this for a while now. Now, let's look at the psychology of what happens through the sales cycle. If you have a 1-bedroom condo that you're thinking of selling, are you going to price it the same as a bachelor? Absolutely not, right? If your realtor came up to you, you said, I want to sell my 1-bedroom, and your realtor said, well, the bachelor sold for 400, we should be at 400, or we should be at 375. You're going to say, you're crazy, next, and you're going to speak to another realtor. You yourself, and most realtors wouldn't look at the bachelor and price your 1-bedroom the same. You need to be higher than the bachelor, your 1-bedroom. Likewise, if there's a 2-bedroom in that building that is coming up for sale, you're pricing it higher than the 1-bedroom. All things being equal, right? Square footage, like with the 2-bedroom is bigger and so forth. The 1-bedroom is bigger than the bachelor. And for most people, there's no argument here. It's just logical. Bachelor here, 1-bedroom price a little bit higher, 2-bedroom price a little bit higher, 3-bedroom price even more. And that's the pillar. And right at the bottom are the bachelors, bottom of the line, the least expensive in that building. Now, prices have moved. And 1 and 2 bedrooms have fluctuated down. 3 bedrooms have fluctuated down a bit. So prices overall have come down. Average sold prices have come down. But the bachelors, the studio apartments, they barely have moved, if not at all. They've around 400 is what that price has been for the longest time. And so why would sellers price their 1-bedroom the same or lower? Same thing goes with buyers. If you're looking to buy a 1-bedroom and you know that a bachelor sold in that building recently for about 400,000 or is for sale for about 400,000, you as the buyer, you're also thinking, yeah, the 1-bedroom should be more. So even though we're talking the least expensive condo units, the bachelor, I believe it's actually holding up all the prices from coming down significantly. If we saw bachelors studio apartments being sold at, say, 250, 300,000, well, everything automatically drops from there, right? We're not seeing that though. And this is, in my opinion, what's really holding up the prices. Sure, there are some sellers that are financially in trouble, and they will sell at a lower number than maybe what the other ones of their caliber and their class of condos is going to sell for. But the 1-bedroom just won't sell less than the studio apartment. And the studio apartment, the bottom end, the one that are the fewest apartments in that building and the fewest people want a bachelor apartment, it's actually holding up the pricing for everything else to come down. It is staying put at around 400,000. It's been like that for a long, long time. Let me know your comments below what you think about what I just said. I know it sounds maybe a little bit like, oh, never thought of it that way, but in my opinion, that's what's holding up the pricing. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. There's a link up here. There's another one below in the description. It's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. The numbers for condos. I'm going to start off with looking at monthly changes going back to 2020, and then I'll get into our regular weekly numbers. So looking at, I've got highlighted in black here every October, October 24, October 23, 22, 21, all the way back to October 2020. Sales for this past October of just condo apartments, and this is just for the city of Toronto, 1,162 condos were sold. What does that mean? Well, if we compare to what's been selling over the course of just this year, look, it's the fourth best week that we've had, really close to month, really close to what we sold in March. So actually, sales are way up compared to what we've done and what we've sold in June, July, August, September. Sales are way up for the month of October. Compared to the previous few years, well, October 2023 and October 2022 are almost the same, just off by 2 apartments. So we're way over those, but less than what we sold in October 2021. So just to give you an idea of what does 1,162 sold condos mean in comparison to other years. Average sold price, $721,000. $721 is up a little bit since over the last couple of months. So it's up from August, September, October is a bit higher now at $721. Compared to the previous years, look, there's not a lot of change. We're a little bit lower, 1.1% lower than where we were this October a year ago. We are 2.8%, so almost 3% lower than where we were for October 2022. Compared to October 2021, also about the same, 2.5% lower. So not a lot of changes compared to 2021 and 2022. When we go back to 2023, actually, we are almost 8%, 7.9%, compared to 2020, not 2023. Compared to 2020, we are 7.9% higher right now than where prices were in October 2020. So when we look at this the way we normally do on a weekly basis, and wow, there's tons of apartments out there for sale and lots of choices and few are selling. When you kind of take a step back and look at the overall picture, yeah, condo prices are down, but not that much over the previous few years. And if we go back actually to 2020, prices are 8% higher than they were 2020. Months of inventory for a while now. Now this is broken down by month, but basically just for this year, since March this year, months of inventory has aggressively been climbing up every month. But this month, October 2024, months of inventory came down. We're at the top end of a balanced market, bottom end of a buyer's market, where for a few months we were sitting in a solid buyer's market. So that's condo apartments for the city of Toronto, broken down in comparison by month. Here's what we normally look at every single week. So we're going to be looking at Toronto, York Region, and Peel condos. Each of them saw an increase in average sold price from one week to the next. We're focused on week ending November the 6th. This is just for the city of Toronto. 197 condos were sold in the city of Toronto. 197 is, I put a line across. It's kind of in line to some of our top weeks over the last couple of months. Average sold price is sitting at $704,000. If I look back for the fall market only, to me, 704 is kind of in the middle there. It's kind of an average of what we've been having as average sold price across the last 2 months since September. Compared to last year, 704 is 4% lower year over year. The median price is 2% lower. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. The median price looks pretty flat. The average sold price, it was climbing just slightly and now down a little bit. 197 were sold, 23%, that's 45 of those 197 sold at list price or more. And 683 were listed, which is the same as the previous week. Overall, though, since September 11th, listings have been trending down. Active listings, the amount of condos sitting on the market available for sale, is coming down. So, look, there's still a lot out there for sale, but when we look at the numbers, there are fewer available for sale. I don't think fewer enough that you would actually notice. There's lots for sale out there. Months of inventory holding steady, same as the previous week, at 6 months of inventory. That's the whole city of Toronto. If we break the city down into 9 different sections, and we said the whole city is sitting at 6 months of inventory, well, some areas are outperforming that, and some areas are much worse than 6 months. When we look at, say, East York, look, there were only 12 condos sold, but if you're looking to buy a condo in East York, and it's a nice condo, it's pleasing, it's a condo that's wanted by people, like it's not falling apart, and it's going to be somewhat competitive. Half of them, 6 sold at list price or more. Months of inventory for a condo in the East York Beaches area, months of inventory sitting at 2.8, so it's somewhat more competitive than, say, Toronto as a whole. High Park, Parkdale, 3.8 months of inventory. Then we go the other way. Etobicoke, 9 months of inventory. Downtown Toronto normally has the absolute worst months of inventory. Not this week. It's sitting at 8.1 months of inventory. Rexdale, Downsview, not known for its massive condo sales, but there were 5 sold. We're sitting at 7.8 months of inventory. Scarborough, 5.5 months of inventory, so pretty close to the city's average as far as months of inventory goes. Let's take a closer look at York Region. This is all of York Region, condo apartments. 34 were sold. 2 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price, although it's up from the previous week, it's now at $660,000. Looks like to me overall, the last 4 or 5 weeks, average prices have been trending down. Compared to last year, 660 is 5% higher year over year. The median price, it averages out to 0% change year over year. Now, when we look at the dotted line, yeah, for York Region, looks like average price is trending down a bit. The median price, however, is a bit more flat. 34 were sold. 21% of those, which works out to be 7 of those apartments, sold at list price or more. Listings for the last couple of weeks has actually been on the rise, so more are sitting out there available for sale. Active listings is higher. Months of inventory as a result. So sales, they did what they did, but more listings, more are sitting out there unsold. Months of inventory is a bit higher now at 6.5, pretty much in a buyer's market when it comes to York region condos, and that helps to explain why prices are gradually trending down. Let's look at Peel region condos. 25 were sold, one was at $1 million or more. Average sold price is $584,000, but overall, since the beginning of the fall, average prices, pretty apparent, have been trending down for Peel region. Now, I say Peel region, the majority, the vast majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga. $584,000 is 3% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 6% lower, and average and median price are trending down. 25 were sold, 20%, so 5 of those sold at list price or more. Listings are down. Active listings, not much change over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks or so. Not much change in active listings, and months of inventory still high, sitting at 8.2 months of inventory, a buyer's market. Here's a quick summary. We're basically sitting in a buyer's market, whether you're looking at City of Toronto, York region, Peel region. There's still condos though being sold at list price or more. It's not a lot. It's not like 70%, 80%. It's 20%, 25%, somewhere around there. But that just tells you that depending on how the unit is priced, how it looks, there's still going to be people competing for it or paying the right price for it right away. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.